that day.
(306-2667).
Hello, this is Chris Norman at Bulldog Bail Bonds. Our office is in Crestview, Florida, but we service 7 Northwest Florida counties. If you ever find yourself in a jam, please give us a call. We're here to help you out.
For more than 70 years, the sweet aroma of the Crestview Coney Islands burgers and hot dogs has permeated the downtown area. If you have not experienced the unique flavor of Crestview's Coney Islands burgers and hot dogs, then I encourage you to join us for lunch. Monday through Thursday from 10 a.m. till 3 p.m., Friday from 10 a.m. till 4 p.m., and Saturday from 10 a.m. till 2 p.m. We're located in historic downtown Crestview at 107 North Main Street. Call 850-683-1045. Days Tire Pros makes buying tires simpler. They offer a straightforward approach to tire and auto service that includes nationwide warranties, a hassle-free experience, and a great selection of Michelin tires. No matter what you drive or where you have driven, Michelin has a tire to fit any need. Visit our store in Crestview or online.
Jury, now we got Creech September 11th, a one-day trial. And we'll just have to tell the jurors what day to come back after we pick them that week. And then we got Kosher the week of September 18th, pick a jury, and that'll be a 2-day trial.
Yes.
And do we have another one, Powell?
Powell, Your Honor.
Is that one going to trial?
And we're ready for trial on that. We announced, he was here on
Is that
pre-trial.
a one-day trial?
I think it's a one-day trial.
Your Honor, I still have to confirm if the witnesses are available. Ms. Gooden was not present at docket day, which would normally be required, and we'd normally be required to have her client present to turn down any offers that have been made. So I still have to confirm whether or not they'd be available. It would have to be for the second week, though.
Okay. That's a one-day trial?
One-day trial.
September 18th, that week, right?
Correct.
Okay, so we got two trials, September 11th and 2 on the 18th. Okay? Gabriel and Creech and Kosher and Powell. Right?
Correct.
We'll confirm, and I'll let all parties know.
Okay.
And I'll have my clients here on the 18th, not the 11th.
Yeah, you're gonna be the week of the 18th.
Yes, Your Honor.
And Your Honor, may I inquire how many you're going to have in the jury pool? Because our cases are usually a little crazy.
I usually have about 36 people, 36
We
jurors.
normally have 60, 50 or
60.
Because the sexually related cases, there's.
I mean, you only got
sometimes
like,
victims, et cetera.
how many strikes you got each? 6?
Yes,
6.
sir. But unfortunately, due to the nature of the charges, there's individuals that may be affected by the subject matter that may feel like they can't sit, that type of thing. So we see that a lot, unfortunately.
Yeah, but I think we can get it done.
I've asked for 36. I said 36 people. That's, I don't know if we can change that number. Usually they wanted to only summons 22, and I said, no, bump it up to 36. So we should be able to get 2 6-member juries out of 36 people, is what I was thinking.
Your Honor, all I can say is from past experience, we've gotten way down into the pool, and so the judges have tended to give us a bigger pool for my type of cases, but obviously we'll go at the court's discretion.
I don't think we'll run into the issue
How many
personally.
you want? 200 people? Is that
No,
what you
I didn't
said?
ask for 200.
You said a couple hundred, didn't you?
No, I didn't say a couple.
We'll change it to
You usually have about 50 or 60. but
54.
Whatever you like, Judge.
54. We do 54 people per week. How about that?
That-
54 jurors on September 11th and 54 on the 18th. How about that? And y'all end up pleading them all anyway, so
We're not.
I've heard that. I don't know how many times I've heard that. We're definitely going to trial.
And for the record, Ms. Leon, since Mr. Creech has 3 cases, I know on the newest case, 23 CF 87, he of course was wanting to enter a plea, if we can negotiate that out. Which case of the other 2 did you want to go on, 21 CF?
The failure to register?
Failure to register?
Yes.
That's the one we're going on. I just wanted to make that clear, thank you.
Yes.
Y'all got me, you're supposed to have the jury instructions, the preliminary jury instructions by today, I think, at noon. Y'all got that? The preliminary jury instructions plus a verdict sample, the verdict form, and a copy of the last information of the case that's going.
By tomorrow, you didn't get the
By
deadline?
today at 12, you're supposed to have. I mean, in Monday, the 11th?
Yeah, I remember.
Okay, I'll give you by tomorrow at 12.
Thank you.
Thank you, Judge.
Thank you. That's all I have.
Okay.
Thank you, Your Honor.
All right, Mr. Nobes?
Yes, sir. Judge, I've got Chad Allen Barr.
Chad. What was his name, sir?
Later. Now approach.
Okay. Is Mr., okay, there you are. All right, you are Chad Allen Bladum?
Yes, sir.
Would you please raise your right hand to be sworn? You swear the testimony you give before this court is the truth, so help you God?
Yes, sir.
This is State of Florida versus Chad Allen Bladum, 22 CF 941.
Judge, we're in effect entering a plea to 2 misdemeanors. Count
Okay.
one's a lesser included,
All right.
the battery.
Okay, this is 2 counts of battery. One's a lesser included. Both are first-degree misdemeanors. You want to enter a no contest plea to those 2 counts, correct, sir?
Yes, sir.
Did you read and sign this plea and sentencing agreement form?
Yes, Your Honor, I did.
Are you aware of the rights you're waiving by entering this plea?
Yes, sir.
Anyone force you or threaten you to enter this plea?
No.
Are you under the influence of any medication or drugs that prevent you from knowing what you're doing here today?
No, sir.
Are you happy with the work Mr. Nopes has done for you on your case? Are you happy with Mr. Nopes'
Yes, sir.
work? Court finds the plea is freely and voluntarily entered. Court accepts it. Adjudication of guilt is withheld on both cases. Both counts. 1 year probation on count 1 and consecutive 1 year probation on count 2. $270 court costs, complete online parenting class, complete a mental health evaluation through a private mental health provider and any recommended treatment. 50 hours community service work, which I'll let you buy out. No violent contact with Jeremy Gilbert Bauer and Christine Brooke Bauer. And that is it, correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank
Yes,
you.
sir.
Thanks, sir.
We request that this be waived, Your Honor.
Yes, cost supervision waived.
Judge, the next case I've got is Dylan Grantham.
Grantham?
He's present. I believe the state has an announcement.
Yes, Your Honor, the state is going to dismiss the charges against Dylan Grantham per victim's request.
All right, this is 2023 CF 34, Dylan Grantham. You have any objection to them dismissing the charges against you?
No, sir.
All right, charges dismissed. Thank you. You're free to go.
Thank you, Judge. I'm going to get emotional. It's a dismissal. It's been years.
You must be doing a better job.
I must be. Thank you, Judge.
Mr. Powell, you got a case?
Yes, we got it.
All right.
Mr. Miley.
Who is this again?
Mr. Miley, Your Honor.
Are you Mr. Miles?
Yes, sir.
Jason Robert Miles? Okay.
Yes, sir, Your Honor. Case 21 CF 01556C is a VOP, and we're not quite ready yet, but we're getting close.
October 30th. How about that? October 30th?
That's perfect.
Your Honor, that's a pretrial date. If we could put this on for a BOP miscellaneous date,
Okay.
maybe October 26th, if
All
that
right.
works for Mr. Powell?
October 26th.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Judge.
Thank you.
I'll see you.
Thank you.
Could you get some pro se out of custody on all of them?
Go ahead and call him, Mr. Williams.
It'd be Brian Johnson.
Mr. Johnson, come on up. Ryan Michael Johnson? Yes. Okay, come on up to that podium. This is a VOP on 22 CF 2154. Brian Michael Johnson, is there an offer from the state?
1 second, Your Honor, I'm trying.
Gotta see if you want to accept something.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
I don't have his file, Your Honor. If I can have a second. Yeah, may I have again the case number because I can't locate him.
22 CF 2154. Well,
Can we pass it, Your Honor?
Have a seat, see if she can find your file. Okay, we're ready.
Is there any way I can ask for a continuance?
Well,
Well, let's see what she has to offer. It might be something that you'll take. Okay, since you're here. All right, next case.
yeah, Your Honor, I found that he needs to complete, the recommendation is for him to complete the treatment. So if we continue it and he's able to complete it,
All right, how about we'll continue his case to October 26th? Is that enough
yes,
time?
Yes.
October 26th, thank you.
thank you, and I apologize, Your Honor.
It's all right.
Bailey Wilson.
Bailey Ann Wilson.
I know she showed up on Tuesday, and then she had to appear in front of the ward, I believe, on Tuesday. I don't know if she was in our courtroom for a period.
Do you know anything about Mrs. Wilson? Want to continue it to the 26th?
That's fine, Your
I
Honor.
think she's in Judge Ward's. She showed up for our court.
Well, that was Tuesday. She sat in our court for a period, and then they were looking for her down there. She had to appear down there, I think. She wasn't on our docket Tuesday.
She does have a misdemeanor, and she failed to report.
Well, let's put her on October 26th
Okay.
and send her a notice to be in court October 26th.
I see Mrs. Flowers.
Do we have any other people out there?
That's the only. pro
Ms.
se
Flowers?
I see.
I'm ready.
Okay.
Okay, female.
Okay.
So if you have access to you.
Is Mr. Lawson present? Your Honor, this is Jonathan Clay Lawson,
Jonathan
19
Clay.
CF 3008. You have your community service hours? Okay. Your Honor, this is a PTI recall where he was given this date to complete his community service hours, and I believe I just handed that to Ms. Glisson.
So he's done his work?
Looks like it, Your Honor. And if court costs have all been paid, Madam Clerk, would you confirm that?
This is 2019 CF 3000.
It's been paid?
3008.
Your Honor, based on what I've been provided, I'll consider the pretrial intervention contract to be completed and state what announced in all cross.
All right, charges dropped. Thank you.
Good for you. Yep. Your Honor, this is Lana Shaw Creech and 21 CF 2735. She was previously adjudicated incompetent and committed to the Department of Children and Families. She has since been restored and been found to be competent. The report was provided to the state and the court. Is the state stipulating to the findings of the report? Stipulating to the findings of the
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, court finds, yes, court finds she's been restored to competency.
Okay.
October 30th?
We actually have a plea
plea?
already worked out, if I may approach.
Yes. All right, this is State of Florida versus Lana Creech. You're Lana Creech?
Yes.
Would you please raise your right hand and be sworn? You swear the testimony you give before this court is true, so help you God?
Yes.
Okay, you want to enter a plea of no contest to a simple battery, a first-degree misdemeanor. You understand that? Is that what you want to do?
Yes.
Did you read and sign this plea and sentencing agreement form? Are you aware of the rights you're waiving by entering this plea?
Yes.
Anyone force you or threaten you to enter this plea?
No.
Are you happy with the work Ms. Flowers has done for you on your case?
Yes.
Are you under the influence of any medication or drugs that prevent you from knowing what you're doing here today?
No.
Court finds the plea is freely and voluntarily entered. Court accepts it. Adjudicate you guilty, sentence you to time served in the county jail, $515 court costs, $150 cost of defense to collections.
Thank you.
So you'll probably be getting out today unless you have some other charges somewhere holding you. Okay?
All right, thank you very much.
All right.
Your Honor, I will file the score sheet
Okay.
before noon.
Thank you.
It's a misdemeanor, so.
Oh, it was a misdemeanor?
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Haley Nicole Stofflet, is that right?
Yes, Your Honor. This is case number 20 CF 543, and I'm just making sure all parties have signed. We have a plea agreement, if I may
All
approach.
right. Ms. Stofflet, would you please raise your right hand and be sworn? You swear the testimony you give for this court is the truth, so help you God?
Yes, sir.
You want to enter an admission that you violated probation?
Yes, sir.
You aware of the rights you're waiving by entering this admission?
Yes, sir.
Did you read and sign this plea and sentencing agreement form?
Yes, sir.
Anyone force you or threaten you to enter this admission?
No, sir.
Are you under the influence of any medication or drugs that prevent you from knowing what you're doing here today?
No, sir.
Are you happy with the work Ms. Flowers has done for you on your case?
Yes, sir.
Court finds the admission freely and voluntarily entered. Court accepts it. Adjudicate you guilty, revoke and terminate probation, $100 VOP cost of prosecution, $150 cost of defense, 90 days in jail with credit for time served. The cost of transportation to Okaloosa County Sheriff's Office of $89.45, and the state is going to dismiss the failure to appear, correct?
No action on the FTA, Your Honor. We never filed on this. but
Okay,
we
no
will.
action on the FTA.
May I approach the score sheet?
All right, so I guess you'll be getting out, let's see, what was that? How many days has she served
I think she's about there.
there?
They'll calculate it at the jail. I couldn't give her a precise.
Well, you got credit for time served, 90 days credit for time served, okay?
Okay.
Thank
And
you.
they'll tell me when I get to the jail.
Yes.
Okay,
Thank you. And then you'll go to Santa.
Any money still collections on her?
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
Davis.
Your Honor, this is Jason Michael Davis and 23 CF 1726. We have agreed upon sentence and a plea agreement that we've previously gone over, but he just needs to physically
right.
sign it really quickly.
All right, sir, you are Jason Michael Davis.
Yes, sir.
Would you please raise your right hand and be sworn? You swear the testimony you give for this court is the truth, so help you God?
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you. You want to, this is State of Florida versus Jason Michael Davis, 23 CF 1726. You want to enter a no contest plea to possession of a controlled substance, a third-degree felony, and possession of paraphernalia, first-degree misdemeanor, correct?
Yes, sir.
Did you read and sign this plea and sentencing agreement?
Yes, sir.
You understand the rights you're waiving by entering this plea?
Yes, sir.
Anyone force you or threaten you to enter this plea?
No, sir.
Are you under the influence of any medication or drugs that prevent you from knowing what you're doing here today?
No, sir.
Are you happy with the work Ms. Flowers has done for you on your case?
Most definitely. Yes, sir.
Okay. The court finds the plea is freely and voluntarily entered. Court accepts it. Sentences you to judge guilty. Both counts, sentence of 90 days jail with credit for time served, concurrent. 515 court costs, $100 cost of prosecution, $150 cost of defense, all monies to collections. Okay?
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
Your Honor, this is Ricky Lett.
All right.
We have several case numbers. So we were put on today for a plea, but we're working out some logistical issues.
right.
So we're going to ask that be put on the September 28th docket.
All
I
right.
think so.
September 28th. Hopefully we can get it resolved for you, Mr. Lett. Thank you.
Judge, I have Mr. Lett as well.
Okay. Thank you.
That resolve yours or just hold on to it? No, it resolves mine. For today's purposes, then.
Williams.
Your Honor, this is Adrian Williams. He is here on 7 cases, 23 CF 1761, 1762, 1763, 1764, 1765, 66, and 67. Your Honor, we've reached a global resolution and a plea agreement, if I may approach.
All right. All right, sir, you are Adrian Williams?
Yes, sir.
Would you please raise your right hand and be sworn? You swear the testimony you give for this court is the truth, so help you God?
Yes, sir.
Okay. You want to enter a no contest plea in in 23 CF 1761, 23 CF 1762, 23 CF 1763, 23 CF 1764, 23 CF 1766, 23 CF 1767, to in 1761, attempted burglary of occupied conveyance, 2 counts, 2 third-degree felonies. In 1762, attempted burglary of an unoccupied conveyance, third-degree felonies. 1763, attempted burglary of an unoccupied conveyance, third-degree felony. 1764, burglary of an unoccupied conveyance, a third-degree felony. In CF 1766, burglary of an unoccupied conveyance, a third-degree felony. 1767, burglary of an unoccupied conveyance, a third-degree felony. And in 23 CF 1765, a lesser included offense of burglary of an unoccupied conveyance, a lesser included offense, a third-degree felony. So you want to enter a no contest plea to those charges, correct, sir?
Yes, sir.
Did you read and sign this plea and sentencing agreement form?
Yes, sir.
You understand the rights you're waiving by entering this plea?
Yes, sir.
Has anyone forced you or threatened you to enter this plea?
No, sir.
Are you under the influence of any medication or drugs that prevents you from knowing what you're doing here today?
No, sir.
Are you aware of the rights you're waiving by entering this plea?
Yes, sir.
Are you happy with the work Ms. Flowers has done for you on your case?
Yes, sir.
Court finds the plea is freely and voluntarily entered. Court accepts it. In 1761, 1762, 1763, 1764, 1766, and 1767, you're judged guilty on all counts, 18 months standard probation concurrent on each count, 515 court costs assessed in each case, 7 cases total. Reserve on restitution in all cases for term of probation. No contact with the co-defendant. Do not return to the following address: 1553 Lena Street, Baker, Florida; 235 Nautica Way, Destin, Florida; 1486 Mill Creek Drive, Baker, Florida; 1475 Mill Creek Drive, Baker, Florida; 1593 Lena Street, Baker, Florida; and 316 Brooks Street, Fort Walton Beach, Florida. $40 restitution to Kevin Jones in 23 CF 1764, $455 to John Wesley in 23 CF 1766. In case number 23 CF 1765, you're judged guilty, 18 months standard probation concurrent, 515 court costs assessed in each case. Reserve on restitution for term of probation. No contact with the co-defendant. Do not return to the following addresses.
It's the same, Your Honor.
Same
I just
addresses.
wanted to
Okay.
clarify in that second part that he was pleading to the lesser included charge, rather than the first-degree felony, the third-degree lesser
Yeah,
included.
I think I said
It's all
that.
concurrent.
Yeah, in 1765, it's to a lesser included offense, burglary of an unoccupied conveyance, a third-degree felony, lesser included. And in that case, $466.15 cost of transportation to the Okaloosa County Sheriff's Department. Adjudicated guilty, all cases, all counts. So it looks like 18 months concurrent probation essentially on everything. Okay.
Yes, sir.
You ought to be happy with the work Ms. Flowers done for you.
Yes,
Okay.
sir.
Thank you. That's it.
We
Thank
done.
you.
And Your Honor, will request that the case be waived.
Yes.
And Your Honor, that's all I have. But if I may just address, we were addressing court schedules for the trials next
Okay,
week.
yeah.
I just wanted to confirm, because I had made arrangements with co-counsel to sit with me during jury selection, that we would be picking our jury in the morning on September 11th.
And you have the Gabriel case?
Yes, Your Honor.
Yes, September 11th in the morning. And we'll just, when we get through with your case, we'll pick Mr. Creech's case that
Thank
day,
you.
too.
I just wanted to confirm that. Thank you, Your Honor.
Okay.
May I be excused?
Yes. Who is the co-counsel?
Katie Jakewet, I think will be sitting.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Thank you.
Sir, the inmate is pro se, Brian Pate.
Eight. Morning. You're Brian Pate?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Let's find you. All right, Mr. Pate, you're here on a violation of probation.
Yes, sir. Can I speak real quick? My financial obligations are taken care of, and I'm eligible for termination. I was trying to see maybe if I can possibly be either.
See what they say.
Your Honor, based on the amended recommendation from probation, the state does not have an offer at this time. The probation officer notes that this officer is concerned that the offender presents a threat to community safety, and based on a violation of injunction for protection against stalking, or a final judgment against violation against stalking out of Escambia County.
That's not what I'm locked up for, though. I don't have a charge. My charge is violation for a drug test.
Well, let's see if, why don't I point you public defender to see if they can investigate this and get it worked out and get you back. And if it works out for you, you're taken care of. If not, you'll have an attorney to represent you.
I'd rather get it over with today, sir. Whatever you want to do. I
don't know what to do because I don't know what, they don't know what to do yet. It's not my case, it's their case.
That's not a charge, though. That's just, I'm on order, but there's not a violation for it. It's just, I was just placed on it. I haven't violated it. I was placed on, I went to court, they placed me on it, but I haven't violated it.
Why is he here in Okaloosa County Jail?
For a violation for a drug test. Yes.
Drug test?
Yes, sir, in Walton County.
In Walton County?
Yes, sir.
How do we have him?
Because I transferred to Walton County because I moved
Mr.
up.
Berry, what do you say?
He's our case. He was transferred to Walton County, and Walton County was supervising him for us, and he drug tested positive. So it is our violation. That is.
Okay.
I don't know what else he's talking about.
Yeah, the other's not. It's not a case. I don't have a case for that. They just placed me on. What do you call it when you can't go see someone? When you can't come in contact with someone? Yeah, I don't have a violation for that. I haven't messed up the junction. That's what it's called, an injunction. I'm on an injunction, but I haven't violated it.
Hang on one second. Why don't we bring him back this afternoon, Ms. Glisson, and then Ms. Glisson will check into what you're saying.
Yes, sir.
We'll bring you back this afternoon, okay?
Okay, all right.
Your Honor, asked out of custody, if I may.
Okay.
First out of custody, Your Honor, I have Ms. Miranda Ballantyne. Your Honor, she's present and approaching. This is 22 CF 1807. Judge, we received an offer from the state for just a DUI in this case. Discussing with Ms. Ballantyne, she does not want to accept that offer today. We'll need to continue to set this on the next trial cycle, Judge.
October 30th. Thank you.
Thank you, Judge.
Well, for the record, Mr. Gibbs, that offer is revoked.
Thank you. Next, Your Honor, I have Ms. Bobby Booker. Your Honor, she is present and approaching. This is case numbers 23 CF 185, 23 CF 388. Judge, we have reached an agreement. If I may approach.
Yes.
Do you have the score sheet, Ms. Leon?
Well, they include the other case that I'm dismissing. I can...
All right, Bobby Booker, would you please raise your right hand to be sworn? I swear the testimony you give for his course of truth, so help you God.
Yes, sir.
Okay. This is State of Florida versus Bobby Joe Booker, 23 CF 185 and 23 CF 388. You want to enter a no contest plea in 23 CF 388 to possession of a controlled substance, a third-degree felony, and possession of paraphernalia, a first-degree misdemeanor. And the state is going to dismiss 23 CF 185, correct?
Correct, Your Honor.
So you want to enter that plea to those charges, and the state's going to dismiss, all right, one count, or one case. Did you read and sign this plea and sentencing agreement form? You got to talk out loud.
Yes, sir.
Just make sure to speak up.
Anyone force you or threaten you to enter this plea?
No, sir.
Are you aware of the rights you're waiving by entering this plea?
Yeah. Yes, sir.
Are you happy with the work Mr. Gibbs has done for you on your case?
Yes, sir.
Are you under the influence of any medication or drugs that prevent you from knowing what you're doing here today?
Yes, sir.
Court finds the plea is freely and voluntarily entered. Court accepts it. In 23 CF 388, count 1, you're sentenced to 2 years probation, $100 cost of prosecution, $515 court costs, $150 PD fee. Enter and complete rehabilitation program with Emerald Coast Life Center. Withheld adjudication. On count 2, you're sentenced to time served. Withheld adjudication, and in 23 CF 185, I guess the state is announcing null pros, correct?
Yes.
And we request to waive cost of supervision, Judge.
Yes, waived.
Thank you, Judge.
Mr. Gibbs?
All right.
Fabulous. Score sheet, Judge, no objection. Next, Your Honor, I have Mrs. Anaya Brown. Ms. Brown. Your Honor, Ms. Brown is present approaching. Tim Gibbs on her behalf. This is 23 CF 1672. Your Honor, Ms. Brown is going to be entering the pretrial intervention program. We have the agreement. If I may approach, I know the court may need a copy. We only have the one copy right now. That copy works too. So that just says, so the difference here is. Sign this one. I'll give this one to the court. I'll have this one to give to probation. Same one, it's just this is typed out.
Oh, thank you.
You are Zanaya Brown.
Yes, sir.
Would you please raise your right hand and be sworn? You swear the testimony you give before this court's the truth, so help you God? Thank you. This is 23 CF 1672, State of Florida versus Zanaya Brown.
Your Honor, I'm going to have probation sign this copy and submit it to the court.
Your Honor, we'll take this PTI agreement, send her to the office. Once it's signed, we'll e-file it to the clerk.
All right.
That's fine, Judge. So you can keep that copy. That's your copy.
Do I need to recite anything on this PTI agreement?
I'll hand it to you, and you can, if you'll just hand it back to me.
All right. All right, Ms. Brown. You've read over this PTI, which is pretrial intervention agreement. You understand that? Is there any question about what you need to do on this PTI agreement?
No, sir.
If you don't complete it, then you can be, the state can bring the charges against you, bring it back. You understand that?
Yes, sir.
Okay, well, court accepts it. Complete those terms so you can get your charges dropped, okay?
Okay.
All right, thank you.
Next, Your Honor, I have Mr. Ronald Collins. Your Honor, Tim Gibbs on behalf of Ronald Collins. This is 22 CF 2265, 22 CF 2266. Judge, we have reached an agreement, if I may approach.
All right. All right, you're Ronald Collins, sir?
Yes, sir.
Would you please raise your right hand and be sworn? You swear the testimony you give before this court is the truth, so help you God?
Yes, sir.
This is State of Florida versus Ronald Gene Collins, 22 CF 2265, 22 CF 2266. You want to enter a no contest plea on 2265 to count 2, a lesser included offense of trespass, a first-degree misdemeanor, correct? Is that correct?
Complete the trespass.
Yes, sir.
And then on count 1, 3, and 4, the state's going to null process those in 2265. Is that right?
Yes, Your Honor.
And in 22 CF 66, 22 CF 2266, the state's going to null process all those counts, correct?
Correct.
Did you read and sign this plea and sentencing agreement form, sir?
Yes, sir.
Where the rights you're waiving by entering this plea?
Yes, sir.
Anyone force you or threaten you to enter this plea?
No, sir.
Are you under the influence of any medication or drugs that prevent you from knowing what you're doing here today?
No, sir.
Are you happy with the work Mr. Gibbs has done for you on your case?
Yes, sir.
Court finds the plea is freely and voluntarily entered. Court accepts it on count 2 of 22 CF 2265. On the misdemeanor, lesser included offense trespass, you're sentenced to time served, county jail, $50 cost of prosecution, $100 PD fee, due within 180 days. Adjudication is withheld, and the state's going to dismiss the other counts and case 22 CF 2266.
Yes, Your Honor.
Thank you, Judge.
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
So what I do is just pay the.
And pay it now if you want. You've got 180 days to pay it.
Nah, we'll pay it now.
Appreciate it. Judge, the next person that's not in custody on the docket that I have is Clarence Ellis. He was set for a status hearing this morning, Judge. He was previously found not competent to proceed and was placed on conditional release. I know Mr. John Barnes was present. He might be able to provide a status. My understanding is that Mr. Barnes is actually trying to find Mr. Ellis. He's been on conditional release for about 2 years now. Beyond that, I don't know if we need another evaluation. I don't know what we need to do. Mr. Barnes reported to me that he's having trouble finding Mr. Ellis, so that may be a situation where we may have to put out a warrant for him, I don't know, and hold for first appearance.
What do you mean?
Set a bond, because this case was set for status, Your Honor. I'm not sure he received notice. I don't know.
I don't know.
So-
The issue we run into, because he's not competent to proceed, the issue that we run into is procedurally at first appearance, whether he gets an FTA warrant for whatever kind of warrant. The only power that the first appearance court has is whether to put him back on conditional release or commit him. And that hearing has to be done either at first appearance or within 3 days of first appearance.
He has not been served.
I don't know if he's been
correct?
served with this notice. I've not had any contact with him. So I don't know what the court wants to do with that. If we want to try to send notice to him, Mr. Barnes just reported to me that he doesn't have, and he's been trying to make contact with Mr. Ellis.
Why don't we send him give him a chance? What about September 28th?
That's fine, Judge.
That's fine.
See if we can locate him. He has been competent, he is competent?
He's not competent,
Not
Judge.
competent.
Correct.
Okay.
He was found not competent on April 14th of 2021. There's been no order since.
We'll see what we can round him up.
Thank you, Judge.
Without putting him in jail.
I appreciate that. Judge, the only other one that I had that I wanted to address was Michael Bullaboy, 21 CF 2621, 21 CF 2633. That's on the afternoon docket at 2 p.m., Judge. Ms. Leon and I believe has stipulated to continue that to September 26th.
Yes.
And reset the evidentiary hearing for that day.
All right, that is 21 CF 2621, Michael Anthony Bullaboy. And you want to set it on what day?
September 26th, Judge. That'll be for an evidentiary hearing at 2 p.m.
Is this a VOP?
VOCC, Judge.
Oh, okay. We'll set it then and see what happens.
Thank you, Judge.
Thank you.
Otherwise, Judge, I just have inmates.
You have inmates? Okay.
Yes.
Mr.
Have you called yours?
Mr. Williams or Miss Rivers?
Your Honor, I have several out of custody. The first one is going to be Dwayne Seals, 23 CF 1662.
See, here?
Yes, Your Honor, he's coming. It's on page 9 of my docket.
$34? Okay. Wow. All right. Dwayne Waymer, Seals?
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you.
Your Honor, we're working on one last thing to, so we can try to resolve this matter. We're asking to continue this to, was it October 26th?
October 26th, okay, thank you, sir.
October
Thank you.
26th, 9 a.m.
All right, thank you.
Your Honor, the next one is Ayana Sen.
Sims?
Sen, S-E-N-N,
Oh, okay,
23
Ayana
CF,
Sin. All right.
1498. Your Honor, this is going to be a pretrial diversion with a plea, if I may approach.
All right. Are you Ayana Sin, S-E-N-N, correct? Would you raise your right hand to be sworn? You swear the testimony you give for this court's the truth, so help you God? You want to enter a no contest plea with the thought or the agreement that it'll be a pretrial diversion, correct? Ms. Rivers? Is that right?
Yes, Your Honor.
So the charges will be dropped if you complete your pretrial diversion, and it's for 12 months, and you are to complete 25 hours community service, maintain gainful employment, or if you're not employed, submit at least 3 applications per week, complete an anti-theft class, pay $693.74 restitution to Walmart in Crestview, Florida, pay $150 state of cost to $150 cost of prosecution, pay $415 court costs, pay court-appointed legal fees, legal attorney fees, and pay any other fines and costs assessed by the court. You got 12 months to do that. If you do those things, the state will dismiss the charges against you. You understand that?
Yes, sir.
You want to enter this agreement? Has anyone forced you or threatened you to enter this agreement? Is she going to be adjudication withheld?
There's no sentence yet, Your Honor.
No sentence, okay.
If she completes it, we'll
All
not
right.
cross.
If you don't complete it, you'll have to come back to court and be sentenced, okay? All right, thank you. Anything else I need to do?
No, sir.
Thank you.
Your Honor, the next one is Austin Simpler. That's going to be 23 CF 1493. And, Your Honor, I have conveyed the state's offer to him, which would involve a pretrial diversion agreement. So if the state could just provide us with one, and we'll just ask to continue this to October 26th, and he'll enter into it at that time.
All right, if you do what you agree to, they'll drop the charges, okay? All right, thank you, sir. October 26th.
9 a.m.
9 a.m.
9 a.m.
Okay,
Your Honor, that's all I have that are out of custody.
all right.
George J. Williams, Kimora McQueen. Judge, I've spoken with the state about this. Ms. McQueen has completed the conditions of her supervision. The state's going to dismiss the violation of probation and ask the court to simply terminate probation.
That's correct, Your Honor.
All right, Ms. McQueen, court's going to go ahead and terminate probation.
Something in
All right, probation's terminated, correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Judge. I've also got Zachary Henderson.
Okay.
Zachary Henderson. Judge, I called Mr. Henderson's name before court this morning and did not get an answer. I've not had any contact with him.
No bond, capias pending first appearance.
Thank you, Judge.
All right, he's on the lam, as they say.
Yeah, we can you wait just a few minutes, ma'am? Okay. I've already called her. I was going to escort her to the clerk's office so she'd know where to go to get paperwork from today. Okay.
All right, you're Sherry Lynette Lucky.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
I'll let you do this.
All right, Judge, I've been going over Ms. Lucky's options for a couple of months now, and had prepared two different plea and sentencing agreements. I've gone over her rights with her. One of them is for a straight-up plea to the court, and she's informed me that that's what she wishes to do. Ms. Lucky, if that's what you want to do, I need to get your signature right there, ma'am.
Mr. Williams, what day would you like to set sentencing for?
I think she wants to try to go ahead and get sentenced today, if that's possible.
It's not. No, this is the first I'm hearing of it, so I would need time to prepare. Make my argument.
There's a statute called Macy's Law that requires that any alleged victim, potential victim in the case, be notified of certain dates. If the state hadn't notified them that there might be a sentencing today, they do have the right to continue it. Does that change your decision on whether or not to plead today?
Does that mean that there was somebody else? I'm saying there's somebody else
It's the guy in the
involved?
car.
I mean, you t-
What you're hearing today is that you're not going to. When do you think you could get a hold of anybody you need to get a hold of, present any sentencing presentation you want to present? We could do sentencing.
For the 26th?
For the 26th? The 26th of this month?
Okay.
Judge, let's do it this way. Here's what we've been struggling with, trying to get her into either inpatient treatment. She's actually been sober for almost a year now. This case has been going on some 18 months. But she's also got a daughter that's in distress that she wants to get out and take care of. And with her being sober for so long, she was hoping to plea and get sentenced today, and that perhaps she wouldn't be sentenced to a lengthy incarceration. She's also been incarcerated she had a brief period out on bond, but she's been incarcerated for a good bit of this. Can we set it for the 26th? You notify your people, any witnesses, whatever, and in the meantime, I'll continue to check into Keaton. She wants me to confirm that Keaton has a option here in Okaloosa County where she would be close to her family instead of being in Escambia. and confirm how long the inpatient program is as part of Phoenix House.
So she's not going to enter a plea today?
Well, what I'm saying is if we got to set her off, I'm trying to talk her out of entering a plea today. So that she has more options.
Okay, so
and that's on me.
Plea to the bench on the 26th.
Yes. All right.
Well, that meant you want to just continue the case?
Pass it to the 26th, but
Okay,
expect a
September
plea one way or
26th.
the other on the 26th.
All right, thank you.
Plea and sentencing. Thank you, Judge.
Perhaps one or two less words, Mr. Williams. Who we got here?
Judge, this is Ms. Knoll. We have received and provided a evaluation by Dr. Zeman. I'd like to present that to the court and for us to go ahead and have her competency hearing.
He was found competent, I believe.
Not.
Not competent.
Yes. Does the state stipulate to the admissibility of the Dr. Zeman's report?
Yes.
Okay, yes, I remember this. Yeah. Okay, she got a lot of unacceptable questionables.
And the court's had her in court with
I
her.
remember. All right, she's not competent at this time to proceed. This is State of Florida versus Hannah Nicole Knoll, 23 CF 1281. She'll be committed to the Department of Children and Family Services till competency is restored. Do we need a date on that?
Judge, I'm not sure. I do know that the recommendation was hospital, and they typically will send a report if the court wants to set a call date for, say, 6 months down the road.
Probably 3 to 6 months is what I remember reading.
No objection.
Something like, what do we do, December 7th?
All right, Judge.
Because if I recall, the report said 3 to 6 months.
I believe so, Judge.
Okay.
Can I ask what that means, sir?
Just going to go to the hospital for approximately 3 to 6 months to try to restore your competency.
Can I ask why I am found incompetent?
Did you have a chance to read your evaluation?
No, sir, I have not.
Mr. Williams supplied it
Yes,
to
if
you.
I could have a moment, please.
And Your Honor, Mr. Williams has indicated he'll follow up with an order.
All right,
Judge.
Judge.
Thank you.
All right, thank you.
Dr. Zeman, we have to go on his expert opinion, and he thinks you'll be competent in probably 3 to 6 months.
It's not a joke. It does come up as the truth.
Ma'am, I'm thank you, Judge.
You're not competent for us to have a hearing.
This paper tells me, this is my first time ever in court. I haven't got to meet with my lawyer.
That's
so
not true, Judge. I have met with him.
Yes, sir, once, and I'll be done in just a second. I met with him once, June 27th. I have not met with him. I did have a court date, July 6th, and I have not met with him since. I did see him outside of a B block. I made sure to introduce myself, say, hey, Mr. Williams, it is Miss Knoll. This was on August 27th. I thought I was going to have a court date on August 28th. I did not, but I did connect with him, tell him hello, and say I should be seeing you today, I think. Did not end up turning up for court. Did get told by my family that evaluation was supposed to be looked up for. I'm not quite sure why I'm found incompetent. I'm very smart. It's my first time in trouble.
All right, well, read that report, and it'll
Yes,
help
sir.
you understand. But Mr. Williams has been working on your case, and part of his defense for you is to make sure you're competent so you understand what's going on.
Yes, sir.
And his effort, based on getting Dr. Zeman to do an evaluation, is part of his job in representing you to make sure you're competent to know what you're doing, whether you go to trial or
Yes, sir.
plead. we want to make sure you know what you're doing is for your welfare and benefit. Thank you.
Okay. Can I ask one more question?
Thank you.
Ms. Gatewood? Good morning, Your Honor. Your Honor, Tim Gibbs on behalf of Tricia Gatewood. Judge, this is 23 CF 1533. We are here for a bond motion hearing, Judge. Before we start, I do want to, on the record, orally amend a statement that I had made in the bond motion. On paragraph 4, I had stated that the defendant is single. That is not correct. She is, in fact, married to the father of the 3 children in question.
All right, what is her current bond?
Current bond, Judge, is $2,000 cash professional. She's unable to make that bond, Judge. She's currently charged with child abuse causing great bodily harm or permanent disfigurement, first-degree felony, Judge. But the 3 children that were there, the child in question, and the other 2 children that lived in the house, they are currently living with their father in Maryland. Again, she and their children's father are still married. Their father is living up there too.
First-degree felony?
It is charged as a first-degree
Who
felony.
set that bond? Some first appearance judge?
First appearance judge appears to be Judge Ward.
That's pretty low bond on a first-degree felony.
Judge, allegations include that allegedly Ms. Gatewood had thrown a hot pan at one of the children. I don't have any body camera or photos of the injuries in question.
I'm not gonna, what do you say?
Your Honor, this is Ms. Berkman's case, and the state does believe that the bond, as the court has already indicated, is actually rather low given the seriousness of the offense and the circumstances involved. There are second-degree burns, Your Honor. The child does have potential for permanent disfigurement in this case.
I'm gonna leave the bond the way it is.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Very well, Judge. Otherwise, I believe she's set for pretrial on the 30th.
October 30th?
Yes, Judge.
Okay.
Your Honor, Tim Gibbs on behalf of Elizabeth Graham. This is 20 CF 2264, 22 CF 570. Judge, we're working on getting her into drug court. If we could just get a status hearing for us on September 26th, I think she'll be in drug court by then.
All right, September 26th.
Thank you, Judge.
Thank you.
Okay. I thought I had another lady. Did I not? No, she's on the app. No, I have another lady. Your Honor, Tim Gibbs on behalf of Richard of Benahar, 23 CF 1544, 22 CF 2903, 23 CF 146. Judge, I had given him a copy of a written plea agreement yesterday in the jail. He apparently wasn't able to bring it with him. If I could just pass him so I could have that written plea typed up and submitted to the court. We have reached an agreement.
So I'll bring him back this afternoon?
If I could bring him back later this morning, I can have that typed up by then.
All right.
Thank you, Judge. Yeah, I'll just bring it back. Submit that written plea.
Okay.
Your Honor, Tim Gibbs on behalf of Rashad Armstrong. This is 22 CF 2107, 22 CF 2138, 23 CF 1291. If I may approach, Judge, we have an agreement.
Rashad Ahmad Armstrong, correct, sir?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Would you please raise your right hand to be sworn? You swear the testimony you give for us, course of truth, so help you God?
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you. This is State of Florida versus Rashad Ahmed Armstrong, 22 CF 2107, 22 CF 2138, 23 CF 1291. You want to enter a no contest plea in 22 CF 2107 to 3 counts of possession of a controlled substance, 3 third-degree felonies, and 1 misdemeanor, possession of paraphernalia. In 22 CF 2138, a second-degree felony, carrying concealed weapon by a convicted felon, leaving the scene of crash involving property damage, a second-degree misdemeanor, and possession of paraphernalia, a first-degree misdemeanor. And in 23 CF 1291, a third-degree felony, possession of controlled substance, and a misdemeanor, possession of paraphernalia. You want to enter a no contest plea to those cases, those charges, those counts, correct, sir?
Yes, sir.
Did you read and sign this plea and sentencing agreement form?
Yes, sir.
Are you aware of the rights you're waiving by entering this plea?
Yes, sir.
Anyone force you or threaten you to enter this plea?
No, sir.
Are you under the influence of any medication or drugs that prevent you from knowing what you're doing here today?
No, sir.
Are you happy with the work Mr. Gibbs has done for you on your case?
Yes, sir.
Court finds the plea is freely and voluntarily entered. Court accepts it. Sentences you to, on all felony counts, 4 years Department of Corrections suspended, conditioned upon completion of 2 years community control, followed by 2 years probation, $300 court cost of prosecution. Is it $350 PD fee
Yes, Judge, across the 3 cases.
across all 3 cases? Applicable court costs. Enter completed a rehabilitation program with Emerald Coast Life Center. And on misdemeanors, you're charged, you are sentenced to time served and adjudicated guilty on all counts, all cases. Thank you.
Thank you, Judge.
You have a score sheet?
Yes, Your Honor.
And supervision fees waived, Your Honor?
Judge, we'd request waive supervision fees.
Yeah, waive supervision fees.
No objection.
May I approach?
Is she coming? Oh, she wasn't transported? Darn. That's okay.
I can do her over at 1:30.
That's fine, yeah. Is that all my inmates for the morning? No.
No, she's not.
That's sad. It felt a little short. Your Honor, Tim Gibbs on behalf of Brandon Brewer. This is 23 CF 1223, 23 CF 1612. Judge, we have reached an agreement if I may approach.
All right. You're Brandon Raymond Brewer.
If I may approach, Judge.
Brandon Raymond Brewer. Would you please raise your right hand to be sworn? You swear the testimony you give for this court is the truth, so help you God. You want to enter a no contest plea to violation of probation and failure to register a third-degree felony. Is that correct, sir?
Yes, sir.
Did you read and sign this plea and sentencing agreement form?
Yes, sir.
Are you aware of the rights you're waiving by entering this admission and this plea?
Oh, yes, sir.
This is in case 23 CF 1223 and 23 CF 1612. Has anyone forced you or threatened you to enter this admission and plea?
No, sir.
Are you under the influence of any medication or drugs that prevents you from knowing what you're doing here today?
No, sir.
Are you happy with the work Mr. Gibbs has done for you on your case?
I guess. Yes, sir.
Court finds the plea is freely and voluntarily entered. Court accepts it. Adjudicates you guilty on both cases. Sentence you to 36 months Department of Corrections, credit for time served, concurrent, $200 cost of prosecution, $250 PD fee, standard court costs, revoke and terminate probation in 23 CF 1223, downward departure, legitimate uncoerced plea bargain.
Judge, I have the score sheet without objection.
Okay. How much time you been in jail?
He's got
All right.
about a month and a half now.
See, I had 36 days the last time I was in jail that I was trying to get, but I got since the 17th of July now.
And I had discussed with the state about potentially doing coterminous. Ms. Leon was not willing to do
All right.
coterminous.
Okay, thank you. Thank you, sir.
Outstanding original cost go to collection.
Yeah, collections.
And I mean, of course, he's very anxious to go ahead and get his DOC time started. I don't know how quickly the clerk could get the JNS done, but the quicker the better.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Judge. Your Honor, Tim Gibbs on behalf of Thomas Chesser. This is 22 CF 3100. Judge, we'd like to go ahead and enter a denial on his behalf on this VOP, and if we could set this for October 5th without subpoenas.
October 5th, thank you. Thank you, sir.
Okay, now I'll talk to you some more.
Tim, does that make you ready for Benahar to come back?
Yeah.
Benahar?
All right. So. You don't have to if you don't want to do another trial. That's what you want to do, sign it, please. Today's date, please. Your Honor, we've reached an agreement if I may approach. Score sheet included, no objection. This does represent a downward departure.
All right, you are Richard Xavier Abenahar. Would you please raise your right hand to be sworn? You swear the testimony you give for this course the truth, so help you God?
Yes, sir.
All right, this is State of Florida versus Richard Xavier Abenahar, 23 CF 1544, 23 CF 146, and 22 CF 2903. You want to enter in 23 CF 1544, a no contest plea to the charge of battery in jail, a third-degree felony. And in 23 CF 146 and 22 CF 2903, admit that you violated probation. Correct?
Yes, sir.
Did you read and sign this plea and sentencing agreement form?
Yes, sir.
Are you aware of the rights you're waiving by entering this admission and no contest plea?
Yes, sir.
Has anyone forced you or threatened you to enter this admission and no contest plea?
Sir.
Are you under the influence of any medication or drugs that prevent you from knowing what you're doing here today?
No, sir.
Are you happy with the work Mr. Gibbs has done for you on your case?
Yes, sir.
Court finds the admission and plea is freely and voluntarily entered. Court accepts it, adjudicates you guilty. In 23 CF 1544, you're sentenced to 4 years Department of Corrections suspended, conditioned on completion of 1 year community control followed by 2 years probation, $100 cost of prosecution, $150 public defender fee, standard court costs, enter a complete rehabilitation program with Emerald Coast Life Center. In 22 CF 2903 and 23 CF 146, the court's going to revoke and terminate probation, sentence you to 4 years Department of Corrections suspended, conditioned on completion of 1 new term of 1 year community control followed by 2 years probation concurrent with each other, and 23 CF 1544, $200 cost of prosecution, $150 public defender fee, enter and complete the rehabilitation program with Emerald Coast Life Center. All right? Thank you.
Supervision fees waived, Your Honor.
Yes, sir.
Thank you, Judge. All right. I think that concludes my business for the morning, Judge. We'll just have Ms. Ash back this afternoon.
All right.
Judge Guantieri? I have no further cases on behalf of myself and Ms. Bergman. I need to go see Judge Wells. May I be excused?
Morning.
Your Honor, I spoke with him yesterday. This is Anton Parsons, 23 CF 1629. He is indicating, after thinking about it, that he does want to take the state's offer. So if we could put him on for this afternoon, and I will write up the offer.
Okay. Thank you, sir.
So he'll come back this afternoon.
Do we have do we have a hearing this afternoon?
Nothing from me, Judge. Do you have an evidentiary hearing right now?
No, Your Honor, we continued it with Mr. Gibbs, the one that we had at 2 p.m.
All right. Okay, thank you.
Your Honor, the next one on the docket is page 8 of my docket, number 21 on mine, Ladarius Purdue, 22 CF 2008. We were here today for a status to see how he is doing in his competency restoration training. Mr. Sanchez is present.
All right.
Mr. Sanchez has indicated that he has filed a report with the court. I had not gotten anything. I did speak with him verbally before court started. And if Mr. Sanchez, if you want to indicate to the court where you stand.
All right. This is Ladarius Dwayne Purdue, 22 CF 2008. How's he doing?
Good morning, Your Honor. He is doing pretty good. I did a test with him a couple of weeks ago, and he made a lot of improvement from the first time we started. I think I requested additional time because there's a couple of things that we need to work on. I think he has still some issues with the adversarial, nature of the process. But other than that, with the terms and the vocabulary, he's doing really
All right. Well, we want to make sure he understands. How much time? We want to set him on another court date?
I would say about, November would be fine.
All right. You want to set him for November, you want to go with November 9th? How's that?
Works for me.
All right. Thank you, sir. Making good progress. Thank you.
All right, you're welcome. Sledge.
Your Honor, it's page 9 on my docket, 9 and 10, number 26 and 27 on my docket. This is going to be Julia Sledge, 22 CF 2218, 23 CF 107. On 23 CF 107, he was on misdemeanor probation. He's before the court on violation of probation. And on 22 CF 2218, that's a felony probation. And he is before the court on violation of probation. He was charged with violating his probation with new law felonies. The felony portions have been dismissed. The misdemeanor has been referred to county court. I believe that's still pending. We're here today because Mr. Sledge is asking for bonds to be set in his violation of probation cases. He currently has no bonds. He is a lifelong resident here in Okaloosa County, here specifically in the North End. He has numerous ties to the community, family ties and otherwise, and I do know that his girlfriend is present in court here today. Go ahead. So he is asking for the court to set bonds in these matters.
What does the state say?
Your Honor, state's objecting. He does have some violent criminal history. One includes aggravated battery with great bodily harm or deadly weapon. He does have a failure to appear in his history. He's got sale, manufacture, deliver ×2. He's got a lot of misdemeanors. He's got a felony battery, a violation of jail rules, another sale, manufacture, deliver, battery, petty theft, criminal mischief, disorderly conduct. He's in on a case that was Ms. Bosso's. It was pled down to 2 counts of battery, originally charged as child abuse without causing great bodily harm, and he scores 21.225 months in prison.
What's his current bond? No bond?
No bond, Your Honor.
The bonds were revoked. He was arrested on a felony case that included some misdemeanors, and all that was filed on was the misdemeanor. So his felony case in front of us, or he has two, both of those bonds were revoked that he was on probation for.
All right. So he's on felony probation and he picked up some new charges?
And the felonies, the state just did not file on it, but they did file on the misdemeanors and sent the misdemeanor down to county court.
How long ago did he have this prior record? All these charges you mentioned are recent?
You judge. Let me check.
He says 2016.
Well, he's looking at prison, 21 months.
I think he scores 22 months, Your Honor.
What do you want to say?
I wouldn't even have no violation. The lady pulled a cover for a seatbelt. She said she wasn't tripping about no seatbelt. I had my seatbelt on. She said that, I guess because she seen a cigarette box, she felt I had drugs in it. I had a cigarette box which contained cigarettes, but she found a cigarette box that had drugs in it, and she tried to say the cigarette box belonged to me, which the cigarette box was on the thing. That's how the drugs came about, and she asked me to give me my name. I said, well, what shall I give you my name if you're not listening? That the other officer took me out the car. I didn't have no drugs. Here's my cigarette box.
Well, I mean, this is not your hearing or your trial, and we'll hear all that.
Yeah, but I wouldn't have a violation if she didn't plant the drugs on me, because I never had anything. I wouldn't be here.
He gave false information,
All
false
right,
name to
I'm
law
going to leave
enforcement.
the bonds where they are. I'm not going to increase them. I'm just going to leave them the way they are. It's no bond. Your VOP, it's got to be a no bond. So hopefully we'll get you to a hearing. Maybe I'll hear it and whatever. Thank you, sir.
Because I don't want to press people can do that to the sheriff department, because that lady planted the drugs.
Your Honor, this is Donovan Lee Smith before the court on 22 CF 2441 and 23 CF 1512. We've reached an agreement in this matter, if I may approach.
Donovan Lee Smith, is that you, sir?
Yes, sir.
Would you please raise your right hand to be sworn? You swear the testimony you give before this court is the truth, so help you God.
Yes, sir.
The State of Florida versus Donovan Lee Smith, 22 CF 2441 and 23 CF 1512. You want to admit that you violated probation, and also in 23 CF 1512, plead no contest to fleeing, attempting to elude law enforcement, a third-degree felony, correct?
Pleading to the lesser included offense,
Lesser,
Your Honor.
okay.
Of resisting without violence.
Resisting without violence. You want to plead no contest to the lesser, resisting without violence.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Did you read and sign this plea and sentencing agreement form?
Yeah, I signed it, yes, sir. Yes, sir.
You read it and sign it?
Yes, sir.
You understand the rights you're waiving by entering this plea and admission?
Yes, sir.
Has anyone forced you or threatened you to enter this plea and admission?
No, sir.
Are you happy with the work Ms. Gibbs has done for you on your case? And
Extremely.
Judge, I'm not sure that Ms. Rivers and I are related.
I'm sorry. Ms. Rivers. And now I forgot what I was at. Are you under the influence of any medication or drugs that prevent you from knowing what you're doing here today?
No, sir.
All right. Court finds the admission and plea, and that was to a misdemeanor. It's freely and voluntarily entered. Court accepts it. On 22 CF 2441, court's going to revoke and terminate probation, $100 cost of prosecution, $100 PD fee, $50 PD application fee, 225 days Okaloosa County Jail, credit for time served. In 23 CF 1512, 225 days Okaloosa County Jail concurrent, credit for time served, $270 court costs, $50 cost of prosecution, $50 PD fee. Adjudicated guilty both cases. I should have known this was nice and readable, that it wasn't Mr. Gibbs. I mean, it had to be Ms. Rivers. I'm sorry I got that mixed up.
I know, my handwriting is quite atrocious, Judge.
Good luck, sir.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Thank you very much.
And outstanding court costs.
Yep.
Your Honor, the next one before the court is Gregory Spears, 12 CF 1016, 12 CF 1224.
Your Honor, based on the probation officer's amended report and the civilian family members that were involved in the violation, the state's recommending the court to enter a dismissal of the VOP and reinstatement.
All right, the state's going to dismiss your violation of probation and just reinstate you back to what your probation you were doing, okay?
Oh, yes, sir. Thank you.
All right, thank you.
Still got to see you then.
Stand.
Your Honor, this is David Charles Stamp, 22 CF 236, 22 CF 237. We're still trying to work on a resolution on this case, trying to see if we can get him some inpatient treatment. So we're going to request a continuance at this time.
All right, October 26th.
Mhm. I believe that is all I have.
Mr. Williams? Anything else, Mr. Williams? Anything else?
Not on the VOP docket, Judge. I've got, looks like 4 cases on for arraignments, 4 or 5. One of them is, actually it looks like 2 of them are out of jail, so.
Is that Ricky Lett?
We'd handle Mr. Lett with Jennifer Flowers. She has him on some of his cases. I have him on other cases. And the whole matter was continued. If the court will hang on, I can give you the date.
And Your Honor,
I want to say the 28th, Judge.
Who do we have for arraignment? Do we have arraignment this morning?
They're 1:30, Judge.
Okay.
we do have a unrepresented inmate, Brian Pate. He was the one that wanted an offer. I can make him an offer now. I spoke with probation. Yes. If he's here.
I told her 1:30, so they may.
What about Antoinette?
Did he go back?
Or Anton Parsons?
And Your Honor, that's the one that we're putting off for this afternoon, so I can type up the plea
Oh,
agreement?
okay, all right.
And then I think we just need to make sure Ms. Ash is here this afternoon. Perfect, thank you.
All right, has that finished us up for this morning?
I think so, Judge.
Okay. Who have I got, who's prosecuting Gabriel case?
Me.
And Creech is
It's me, Your Honor.
Kosher,
Me.
Powell?
Miss Bosso.
Okay. All right, y'all, get me those preliminary jury instructions and latest information by noon tomorrow.
Yes, Judge.
Okay, anything